Welcome to the Squared Circle Jerks podcast. We're reviewing Lucha Underground episode 37 from season 3. We've
Ultimo Lucha Tres, night number 1.
Is it night number 1 of 3 or 4?
I believe it's 4.
Oh.
There's enough matches certainly for 4.
Right.
So it's either that or like the third night's going to be a double hour or something. I can't remember what.
Be.
So we've done some slight changes with the audio. We've increased the bit rate, and we've also dropped the decimal points to down lower. So if we're too low, let us know. If it's perfect, let us know. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say in preamble. Actually, you know what? I'll throw some preamble. Goldust said that people should be just happy and get behind whatever the WWE does. That's wrong. I don't know how else to say that.
Correct. Yeah, no, that is incorrect. There's very little to get behind in WWE right now. Fashion Files, NXT, and seemingly 205 Live these days.
Well, like my thing is like even if they were doing really, really good work, that statement would be untrue because it's the entertainment business. If I don't like what you're putting out, I'm not behind it. That's just all there is to it. That's like saying I'm trying to think of a TV show that I like really, really liked and then started to fall out of love with. I'm gonna go with Game of Thrones. I'm still in love with Game of Thrones, but as the seasons have gone on and they've gotten further from book material, it's not been as good. Mm-hmm. This is an example. Is like I am less into Game of Thrones now. It's not like the creators of Game of Thrones who can say, you will like what we put out there. I'm like, I mean, I'm still liking it, but my level of like is dropping. And at some point, if it continues to drop, I will stop watching. Mm-hmm. And that's the same thing with WWE. So let's talk about what was a pretty kick-ass episode of Lucha Underground.
Agreed.
So no real storytelling in this one, just straight up matches. We got 4 matches, although one was kind of a 3-part match. So we opened up with Texano versus Famous B.
Well, hold on. To be honest, this is going to be a whole month of blow-off matches.
Oh, yeah. There's no real... I'm not expecting story development. Aside from, there's a couple of things. I want to figure out who Dario's lord is.
It's Ronald McDonald.
It could be. At this point, it could be Donald Trump.
It
could be Vince McMahon, for all we know.
That would be a hell of a twist. Or
hell of a thing.
Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman would be a hell of a thing, too.
It's Jim
Eric
Herd.
Bischoff.
Jim Herd.
Eric Bischoff.
Well,
people have been trolling Jim Cornette, by the way, telling them that Jim Herd's coming in to run Impact Wrestling.
That's funny.
And he has been losing his shit and going, he's still alive?
That's awesome.
So that's been the highlight of the Jim Cornette podcast lately. Anyways, we open up with Texano versus Famous B. And those who don't know, Famous B, if he wins, gets Texano's contract, gets him to be his client finally. And B opens up pretty good promo, kind of putting over Texano, also putting over his injury, and calls out his partner because Dario Cueto has actually made this a handicap match properly. And Dr. Wagner Jr. is here.
Indeed. Very good. I like this whole match. There's not a ton you can point to that you could say was really, really good, but there was nothing in it that was bad.
It was just very well paced.
Yeah, it was very well paced. There's good storytelling in the match, and I enjoyed it. I know that you have a quibble about a guy with a broken arm actually tagging into a match that he's involved with, to which I would reply, Famous B has never been shown to be a chicken shit. He's not a chicken shit heel.
It's not about being a chicken shit heel. It's you got a broken arm and you got Dr. Wagner in there. Let Wagner do it. Or do it when like Wagner had properly like really beaten Texano down, like had him really out of it, and then come in and like steal the pin or something. That I could have got behind.
Well, then you're relying on Dr. Wagner Jr. beating Texano straight up.
Oh no, you can interfere and shit. You got Brenda at ringside. You got you at you can totally be involved in the match in a somewhat non-physical manner.
Yeah, but they've also already established he's willing to do what it takes for his clients. He was willing to get in there and not chase Pentagon Darkoff, but he's willing to get in there and intercede between somebody who could be not even his client, could be his client, and risk getting his arm broken, which kayfabe did happen.
No, I'm not
willing to do what it takes for a guy under his employee or contract or whatever, which Dr. Wagner, I guess, still is, maybe?
I suppose that's the idea, yeah, that he is still represented by infamous industries.
Which I enjoy.
Sorry for the steam going off in the background. Someone is trying to talk to me.
Well, that's just stupid. They should be fired. Anyway, they've more than established at this point he's willing to get in there and intercede on behalf of a client. So he's willing to get in there and intercede on behalf of Dr. Wagner Jr., who's getting the shit kicked out of him at that moment.
Well, no, they tagged in, though, when Wagner was in control.
Well,
that's the other thing. Like, I would have been fully behind it if Wagner had basically won the match and just getting the pin. I would have also been behind it if he was saving Wagner from damage. But neither of those were really true. Like, Wagner could have pinned him and he just tagged in.
So again, you're relying on Dr. Wagner Jr., a guy who they don't even really have in the promotion that much, to beat the shit out of a guy who you're trying to push. What kind of devaluation are you trying to pull here?
No, just interference stuff. Distract.
Yeah,
basically like they eventually did with beautiful Brenda being up on the apron. Texano goes in for the kiss and gets rolled up.
Yeah.
You just could have done the same thing without having him tag in when he did.
Probably, but you still got to give the heel some comeuppance a little bit.
Oh yeah, but they did that before he even tagged in though. Like, he got thrown around and he got his cast ripped off. He got his arm smashed into the railing. He got thrown down the steps.
Yeah,
like the comeuppance happened before he got tagged in.
Well, yeah, I mean, but it's still. I think you're just nitpicking.
Oh, it's definitely a nitpick, and I still enjoyed it. It didn't ruin it for me. I'm just saying.
It did. I can tell already.
I'm just saying. I'm here to nitpick booking logic.
That's probably true, but you're nitpicking.
Yeah. So, anyways, we get the distracted roll up. Texano gets rolled up. So B is his manager.
Indeed.
Sadly, with there being no real season 4, that's not really going to go anywhere. But that's kind of just the annoyance of this being probably the end of Lucha Underground.
Probably.
Then we moved into our what was the official name of this? The Hell of War?
Hell of War match, yeah.
Hell of War match. A 3-stage match between Dante Fox and Killshot. Stage 1, First Blood. Stage 2, no DQ. Stage 3, medical evac, which was an ambulance match with military overtones. So, let's talk about this. I enjoyed the First Blood match, and I'm not normally a huge fan of First Blood matches. I find them, I just find them not super engaging.
They're usually gimmicky and stupid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a gimmick I could do without, but the match was really good. The step up ring post moonsault onto Killshot on a ladder, freaking cool. Dante Fox is amazing. I also just enjoyed it wasn't like an impressive spot in any way, but when Killshot flopped to try to avoid getting hit with the chair, and then he comes back up and Fox never threw the chair, so he just throws it into him anyways.
He flopped back, to avoid it, did a nip up to get back to his feet, and Dante just smashed him.
Yep.
It was great.
So I like that.
The triple hit combo of Killshot drop kicking his feet off of Brett's rope so he gets crotched, and then hitting him with, I think he hit him with an enziguri, and then got up and then got him with a DDT. That
was in the no DQ portion.
But, whatever, it's still sick.
But that was sick as well.
There was the C4 off of the top rope through a chair.
I think it was second rope, wasn't it?
Well, you're sitting on the top rope.
There was also the leg drop from the audience. That was pretty freaking awesome. Dante Fox set up basically concerto on Killshot's body, put him on the ring apron, and then does a leg drop from the little barrier that separates the crowd from everything. So good. So that is fantastic. Let's see. Moving on here, we've also got. Okay, well, we'll just get to the end of the First Blood match. Fox ends up getting the win after he drops Killshot through a glass thing and cuts up his back.
Yeah, big pane of glass. I'm assuming it's sugar glass because
looked like sugar glass.
is in charge here. So I'm assuming it's movie Sugar Glass. And yeah, like they set it up outside the ring earlier before moving it into the ring, and Fox was just like, "You help me set this up, or you're gonna bleed." Like he's like, "Yes, sir."
Threatening Rick Knox, the referee.
The Fox and Knox connection.
Indeed. So then we move on to the no DQ match. Pretty much just really early on in this is where Killshot got put through the chair. It just collapsed, and he also threw he splashed onto a ladder with Killshot on it as well. So Fox off to a hard
that was the moonsault. That was the step up ring post moonsault through the ladder. Fuck me.
Well, no, that was in the first blood match, and then he did like a 450 thing onto the ladder.
Oh yeah,
ladder held up.
Yeah. He did all of the things that involve flips and ladders.
And then we had the combo you alluded to earlier, the Enziguri super kick, DDT.
Yeah, God, that was awesome. Like there was awesome. No point. Well, there were a couple of, if I'm gonna get on the nitpick train, there were a couple of points in this match where like it was obvious that they really were worried about getting really badly hurt. Like there was all kinds of glass in the ring for the whole match.
Oh fuck yeah.
And so there were a couple spots where they got whipped into the post, and one of them would slow way down. And then there was some points very late in the match where they were supposed to be punching each other or forearming each other, and it was like it was Miz level soft. Other than that,
I would have in hindsight used something else to make Killshot bleed, and then broken the glass in the second match. That way you could have avoided some of that.
But if you don't do the glass in the first part and then you go into the last part and
I would have done it on the outside.
Altogether.
I would have done it on the outside. Then you could just avoid that.
It looks like they were supposed to be doing that, and then they changed their minds, which kind of was interesting. But I still maintain that if you're going to do two glass spots, you can't do them back to back. You got to do it in the first part, and you got to do it in the last part. Mm-hmm. You're right. They probably should have done it outside the ring, but it made for a great visual and made for like They were either extremely worried about getting further hurt, or they were trying to sell that. And if they were just trying to sell it, then worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, this is fine. I didn't have a problem with it, but I just probably would have done it on the outside. Then Fox gets powerbombed into a barbed wire board. That's always fun.
God damn.
And Killshot hits a storm cradle driver for the 3.
Mm-hmm.
And ties it up 1 apiece. And we head on to match number 3, which is the medical evac match. As stated, ambulance match with military overturn.
Yep.
There's also, at this point, it was pointed out that there was like this like structure between the ambulance and the ring that was basically just like a pane of glass, some wood holding it up, and some chairs in there.
Yeah.
So you knew someone was going through that. And so let's see here. The reverse suplex spot was very cool from Dante Fox and Killshot. Killshot goes for overhead suplex over the ropes, and Fox just is like, well, you're coming with me.
Yeah, it was like a suplex tilt-a-whirl. It was awesome. Probably dangerous, but awesome.
Probably the most dangerous spot in the match.
The entire thing, yeah, it was pretty epic.
This was pretty short, which expected, because, I mean, you'd had 2 brutal matches before this, so, I mean, probably not a lot left in the tank. Killshot eventually straps Dante Fox to a gurney, even hits him with a double stomp, which bends the gurney, which is freaking cool. They end up on... Fox takes back control, and they end up on the bandstand, with Fox choking the crap out of Killshot with a guitar cord. Neat touch, the amp was still on, so they were getting reverb off of his throat.
It was fantastic.
Killshot grabs one of the bottles for El Mariachi Bronx, who were great, by the way. I think we need to give a shout out to the band.
Yeah, like I believe they were on the first season and didn't come back until like right now. And the difference between whatever they were playing then and whatever they're playing now was light years different. I was like, it got me legit pumped up. It sounded great. I wanted to hear more, and then when Stryker started talking, I'm like, come on, Strike, a little bit.
Just give us a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah, Killshot hits him with one of their, I'm assuming beer bottles, but I mean, it could have been non-alcoholic, maybe.
And that was the other thing at that point. It was like, no, don't mess with the booze for the bad.
And then Killshot sends Fox crashing through the what they called it, like the hell structure, like the Jenga piece from hell. That's what it was.
I don't remember. It could have been called Susan for all I care.
Yeah. Well, anyways, Fox went through it, and then Killshot goes down there, gets him up, picks him up, puts him in the ambulance, gets the 3 count, and is your winner of the Hellvor.
And while I was watching him load him in there, he set him down on his ass, and they cut away, which to me means that, great editing. It's a TV show. It's not like a live wrestling production. So, it was great editing. But they cut away as he set him down in the back of the ambulance, like on his ass, and then he was going to stuff him in there. And the whole time I'm going, don't set him on his back, don't push 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 him on his back. And they cut back, and he's, I think, like in a kind of like a fetal position in the back of the ambulance, which is probably the safest way to do that. Yeah.
So this probably brings an end to their feud finally.
Yeah.
And could lead to the 3-man match with Mac, and I assume probably night 4 of Lucha Underground, maybe of Ultimo Lucha, they'll challenge the Reptiles for the titles.
I would have to assume so, yeah.
And become the unfortunately last Trios champions.
Oh, Kitty, my cat is harassing me. It's 40 minutes past insulin time.
Okay, well, we're pretty much done here. You can go do the cat. I'll just do the wrap-up thing here.
I'm going to go shoot my cat. You kids have fun. Make sure you watch this episode. And if you're going to be on the lawn, at least dig me a pond. Peace.
All right, so just on the notes of what's coming up, we've got the WWE podcast will come up on Saturday. And sometime soon we'll also have another New Japan one with the King of Pro Wrestling card, which will be up probably early next week, I would think, depending on when we can get our hands on the English copy of the... depending, honestly, if there's English commentary in general. So we'll have to see about that, but that's October 7th. And, yeah, the WWE stuff, hopefully there's something good to talk about then. And that is all for this podcast. So if you're not watching Lucha Underground, dig up some episodes because it is fucking fantastic. The storytelling is incredible. The production values are really good for what's supposed to be kind of a dirty renegade show. And the wrestling is great. There are some fantastic performers here that if you've not experienced Jeff Cobb, a.k.a. Matanza, Brian Cage, Matt Cross, who's son of Havoc in Lucha Underground. If you've not experienced Ricochet, who's Prince Poma, if you somehow missed John Morrison, Johnny Nitro from WWE, he's Johnny Mundo in this. It's fantastic. You got Rey Mysterio. You've got a couple other legends coming back. You've got Hernandez in this first season. Really, just some fantastic talent that it deserves your patronage, basically. So that's all. Enjoy yourselves and get off of Byron's lawn before he comes back.